you still awake, my darling? You've been tossing and turning for hours. I know when you are not asleep, for when you are, it is such a familiar sound. I've lived under your bed long enough to know exactly what your slumber sounds like. Even my humming has not helped, and that usually does the trick. Of course, I know when you're awake, for the sound of you sleeping is one of the great pleasures in the world. What kind of boogie woman would I be if I didn't know when my favorite human was not asleep? What ails you, my darling? Oh, well, it must be something. I usually have you asleep by now. Well, whatever it is, it's keeping you up. And we can't have that. What is a monster like me to do when their human cannot fall asleep? Will perform their duty, of course, to make sure that you do. Oh, come now. We've already discussed this. They're all different kinds of monsters. Not all of them like to keep those awake at night. The monster under the bed is purely a monster under the bed. Doesn't mean they either scare or they comfort. It's just where they reside. And I find great pleasure in helping you fall asleep. So, perhaps maybe me being under the bed isn't so suitable this time. Well, the humming has not worked, and I can still see you're awake, even while I speak with you. So I don't think me talking from down here will be much help. Perhaps just this once. Maybe I need to leave from under the bed. And come up here. It's been a while since you've seen me, hasn't it? I'm usually just that constant presence that resides under the bed, a whisper in the night, sometimes humming until you drift off, and other times chatting until you eventually fall into a dream. But sometimes I think we forget that I don't always need to be under the bed. As long as there are shadows, as long as there is darkness, I can roam in the night. which means I can be closer to you and help you fall asleep. You don't mind me being up here, do you? I'm happy to hear that, my darling. It's rather surprising, isn't it? I can actually be rather warm. Most people think that the monsters under the bed are rather cold, but that is just the opposite. I've heard you humans find cuddling to be rather suitable. That contact is rather calming. So I figured perhaps my place is here next to you tonight, at least until you fall asleep. I must admit, it is a lot nicer to talk to your face, other than from under the bed. I know sometimes it feels like there's a bit of a disconnect. There are nights where you merely fall asleep while I hum you a song. But just know, even during the day, that I am always here, always watching over you. For you are my human, and you always will be. No matter how far you travel, or wherever you decide to go, I will always be here, for I follow you. Well, it is easy to travel in the darkness. It does not take long. So just know, my darling, that you are never alone. Not while I am here. So I want you to take all the worries out of your head. Just focus on the warm blankets and the sound of my voice. And if a bad thought finds its way into your head, just bring your thoughts back to me. Just lean on me. Breathe. And allow your mind to just drift off. For there is nothing to fear, as I always watch over you when you sleep, being sure that only good dreams run through your mind, as I never want a single thought to harm you. You having a good night's sleep means that I have a good day, that I there's nothing more important to me than you. Many think we boogeymen, we boogie women, we monsters, those who reside under the bed, are nothing more than a plague, when in fact, many of us watch over those who sleep in the night, and they do not even know it. I must say I'm happy that you found out about me, for instead of being under the bed, hoping that you find peace, and trying to be sure that you sleep, I can come up here like this and make sure that it happens. Not many of us get that privilege to be as close to the humans that we watch over. So thank you for giving me that. It seems as though you've fallen asleep. I know I said I'd just stay here until you drifted off. But perhaps, just for this one night,